Second, we have Congressman Jim Jordan with us. He's in this IRS targeting scandal story, and the hearing's going on now on Capitol Hill. Congressman, welcome to the show. I want to break in with you very, very quickly because our viewers are fired up about the IRS scandal. Now, the hearing, they really are fired up about this. Now, what you want, I believe, is a special prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're pressuring the Attorney General, get a special prosecutor, let's get to the bottom of this. But from my point of view, I've got to say, if you did get a special prosecutor, then it'll be years before you get a report. It'll be certainly way after the forthcoming November elections.
Well, it's going to be years under the current system. We know that Justice Department investigation is a sham. We went through these facts before, Stuart, but just by way of reminder, when the FBI leaks to the Wall Street Journal, no one's going to be prosecuted. That's a problem. They did that in January. When the president prejudges the outcome of the case and basically sends a message to the attorneys at the Justice Department when he says there's no corruption, not even a smidgen, and when the lead attorney, Barbara Bosserman, is a max-out contributor, $6,750 she gave to the DNC and the president's campaign. And lastly, when James Cole, the number 2 guy at Justice, in front of our committee 2 weeks ago, I asked him, when did you learn about the lost emails? He said, when the press reported about it. So what kind of confidence do we have in the current investigation? So if that fact pattern doesn't cry out for a special prosecutor, I don't know what does.
What about
so that's what the hearing's about.
Private lawsuits. We want those emails under the Freedom of Information Act, for example.
Yes.
And we've got some success with that. Isn't that a better route to a speedy solution?
It is, which is let's use all avenues. And I agree with you. Those have been helpful. And frankly, Judicial Watch's FOIA request, where we learned that the FBI and the Justice Department were working with the IRS clear back in 2010 about this targeting issue, that came from a FOIA request from Judicial Watch. So I'm all for those, but let's use every avenue we can to get to the truth, because you always got to come back to the basics. This was targeting your most fundamental right, your right to speak out under the First Amendment in a political fashion against your government that was systematically targeted and harassed. So that's why this is so critical.
Sir, I'm going to go further than that. I think the machinery of government was used to intimidate the president's political opponents. I think the president's political opponents were intimidated, and I think that election was interfered with. And I think that's an extremely serious thing.
When the questions they were asking conservative groups were, how often do you meet? Who's the head of your organization? Who are your donors? Do you pray at your... When there's those kind of questions, the chilling impact is unquestionable, and that certainly took place right before the most important election, the presidential election we hold every 4 years.
Okay, Congressman, I know it's a busy day for you. Thanks very much for coming on the show. I think you've calmed our viewers' fury just a little. Come back and see us again.